As a young child learns to get around in a big world, accidents can happen. There are two major things you can do to help keep things safer. First of all, the more closely a child is supervised, the less chance he or she will get hurt. That doesn't mean you have to follow every move of the child, but watch them, and watch them closely. You can often prevent an accident from happening this way. The second thing you can do is be prepared in case of an accident.
So one of the best practices that I did as a center director was made sure that we sat down with the family and asked them a lot of questions and became educated about the needs of that child. And then we sat down with the staff that were in the classroom so that they could learn about indicators or certain behaviors that might let them know that there could be something going on with this particular child.
The emergency information and immunization record card that is kept for each child has critical information that you need. It's important that you know where the cards are kept. And to prevent emergencies, you should review them for any allergies or medical conditions that might exist. This card is also important because it tells you how to reach the parent or another adult in case of an emergency. It also lists the names, addresses, and telephone numbers of the child's doctor and hospital, and written instructions from the parent or healthcare provider about the nutritional and dietary needs of the child. Another way to prepare for an emergency is knowing where the first aid kit is in your facility. It should be easily reached by staff, but out of reach for children. The first aid kit should have the following supplies: Band-Aids in different sizes, antiseptic solution or wipes to clean wounds, sterile bandages and gauze pads, a pair of scissors and adhesive tape, as well as disposable latex gloves and resealable plastic bags. There should also be a written plan with practical information of what to do in case of an accident, if you have to evacuate or in an emergency. Find out where this plan is kept in your center and be sure to familiarize yourself with it. The plan should list the location of the first aid kit, the names of staff members who have first aid training, the names of staff members who have CPR training, the directions for notifying a parent within 30 minutes of an accident or emergency, the street address of your facility, and emergency numbers for the local fire department, police, and ambulance service. Accidents do happen, but if you've taken the time beforehand to prepare and know where information and first aid supplies are, you'll be better able to handle things when it counts. The sun is part of what we love about living in Arizona, but it can be dangerous too when it causes skin cancer. Arizona ranks second highest in the world for the amount of skin cancer cases. Children are at greater risk for sun exposure for many reasons. Just one bad sunburn for a child can double their risk of skin cancer when they're an adult.
We put sunscreen on the kids at least once a day, often twice, since kids love a little bit of outside time every day. And we encourage the parents to always put sunscreen on before they bring their kids in. And we always ask that the children wear hats when they're outside, and when it's a consistent policy, they do a really great job with it.
All right, your turn.
Let's look at some guidelines for staying safe in the sun. Babies under 6 months should be kept out of direct sun, covered in a stroller or an umbrella. Everyone should avoid being in the sun between 10 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, and children should play in the shade in those hours. Apply sunscreen with an SPF of at least 15, 20 minutes before going outside, and reapply it every 2 hours after that. Hats and sunglasses are added protection from the sun. And don't count on the clouds to help you. The sun's rays come through clouds, so use sunscreen on cloudy days too. Take a look at your environment. If you're around sand, concrete, or water, they can reflect more of the sun's damaging rays. Don't wait for the hot summer days to use sunscreen. Make it a year-round habit. That sun can be powerful even on a winter day. Be a role model for the children. Make sure they see you using sunscreen and being careful about your own exposure to the sun. Remember, you're not just keeping children safe from the sun today, you're helping them develop good habits for a lifetime. see it in their faces. Children are happy to play outside, and outdoor play is great for children. It helps their muscles develop, builds their sense of balance, and teaches them all kinds of things. To keep things moving along safely on the playground, there are a few things you can do. First of all, the playground should always be fenced, and the fence should be in good shape. This protects the children from strangers and can also shield them from busy traffic or noise. You need to be able to see and hear the children while they're playing outdoors so you can help them when they need it. There should be a list with each child's name on it, and that needs to be checked as children go outside or return to the classroom so you know where children are. When you're watching children play, keep an eye on the equipment they're using. It should be the right size for the age of the children who are using it. Take a look down at the ground underneath the play equipment. You want that ground to be free of trash or anything that could hurt a child who lands on it. Check the ground regularly. It should also be raked so it is a good cushion. All the equipment on the playground should be checked monthly to make sure it's safe. And if anything needs to be fixed, those repairs should be made immediately. Don't let children use equipment that's waiting to be repaired. The playground is like one big outside classroom for children, and if you do your part to keep things safe, there's no limit to the fun it will provide. It's a sweet sight, a baby sleeping peacefully. If you're caring for a young infant, of course you want to make sure their sleep is peaceful, but also safe. You need to do what you can to protect babies from something called sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS. This is something that happens when babies who show all signs of being healthy suddenly die during their sleep. We don't know a lot about what causes SIDS, but we do know there is one major thing you can do to help prevent it. Infants less than a year old should be put down to sleep on their back, not on their stomach or their side. As babies get older, usually 6 months old or later, they can turn themselves from back to front, and that's fine, but set them down to sleep at the start of their nap on their back.
I always like to rock babies to sleep so I can have that time to bond with them. And when I put him down, I always put him face up. And for infants of 6 months or older, if they already roll over, it's okay if they roll over. Just kind of keep an eye on them.
Pay attention to the crib itself. You need to check several areas for safety. The frame should feel solid. The mattress needs to fill the crib completely, and the sheet needs to be tight to the mattress. Check the hardware on the crib to make sure nothing is broken, loose, or missing. The crib should also have no cracked or peeling paint and no splinters or rough edges. The latches should work smoothly to lower the sides, and the latches should hold securely when the sides are raised. Do not put soft items into the crib itself. Things like stuffed toys, pillows, thick blankets, even bumper pads can cause a suffocation risk. When you place an infant down to sleep, place the baby's feet at the bottom of the crib. Use a light blanket and cover the baby no higher than his or her chest, keeping their arms outside the blanket. Finally, tuck the blanket in around the crib mattress. All these steps will help you do what you can to protect a helpless baby and to make sure those sweet dreams keep coming.